This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guests today are both here to talk about Besser Museum. I have Chris Christopherson and Sharon Engstrom. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning.
So nice to have you here. And you both are wearing your Jessie Besser Museum Founder Society aprons. Yes. And you know, I know what the Founder Society is because I've had the museum. I've been a supporter of the museum forever, and you're on my TV show all the time. But people out there sometimes say, what's the Founders Society? So why don't you tell us what it is, Chris?
Well, most people are confused when they hear the term Founders Society of Besser Museum. And the Founders Society actually was formed back when the museum was first built.
Okay.
And that would have been in the 60s. I remember in 1966 being a freshman at Alpena Community College, going in the museum for, I believe, a class, and thinking, wow, is this empty? And that's when a group of interested citizens from Alpena formed and made the Founders Society. And their purpose was money, raising money, and awareness of the history, art, and science in our northeastern area. They had many large fundraisers and events, and they were successful in purchasing many artifacts for the museum, for this new building. And just the public needs to remember that our museum doesn't receive the tax dollars, perhaps, that like the library or sanctuary might, and we have to apply for grants. So that's why the Friends and fundraising is such an important part of its growth.
And you know what I see, Chris, are so many people who haven't taken time to come to the museum, people in our community. You know, thank goodness you're doing all of the events where you bring all the school kids in, because then they go home and say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad. And the other events like Harvest Days and all those Fossil Fest and all those things that you do to bring people, because our community needs to see that museum. And once you go in there, you will definitely support it.
Oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful resource within our community. People come here from all around to see it. Now, the Founders' role has changed quite a bit over the years. We're no longer an advisory group that perhaps goes out and buys Chihuly glass or artifacts for the museum. We're mostly a support group, and our mission is to support the museum's mission, which is, you know, artifacts and presenting things that are relevant to northeastern Michigan. So that's pretty much, we host receptions, we help with tours, we volunteer behind the scenes. That's a big one, such as the Catherine V. That's been a real labor-intensive exhibit with a lot of volunteers hammering and
lots
pounding.
Of restoration.
Yes, exactly. And there's always lawn that needs cutting, there's exhibits that need dusting, there's research that needs to be done, collections that need to be cleaned. There's a lot of little jobs that people who are interested in history in our community would probably love to do but don't know. The term founders, they're confused. We're friends that support the museum, and we find like being around like minds just gives us energy and keeps us going.
And you actually are here today because you hope to get some more friends to join the Founders Society.
Right. We hope that people understand that Founders Society, it's an old term, but we are the friends, and people understand the term friends,
right? Because
there's Friends of the Sanctuary, Friends of the Trail Group, Friends of whatever, and our Friends group, I know one big project, we did the Maltz Bank. We did a lot of money raising to restore that, and there are many more projects like that that need to be done.
So what do you have to do to join the Friends?
Well, isn't that nice you asked? It's pretty easy. You can, the museum has a handy-dandy little bifold, trifold flyer, and it lists the membership costs, which are minimal. A senior couple, $35 for a year, and to be a founder member then is an additional $10.
Okay.
And that money is used to help with what Sharon's been doing with receptions and so forth. So it's easy to be a member.
Okay, and Sharon, you do wonderful receptions for your artists and their families.
We do enjoy doing all of the receptions. It's just a nice way to honor the artists and their friends and family that come to see. The shows are, next one that's coming up is a big one. It's the Juried Art
Yes.
reception, which is October 26th. And that is, artists from all over Northeast Michigan are able to enter into this Juried Art show. And so it's usually a pretty good size, and it's very lovely to come and see all of the artists' work. And we enjoy doing a little reception to just make it more enjoyable for the opening of the show. We've also done, for the winner of the Juried Art show, they have their own showing then later in the year, and we usually do a reception to honor them also. We have done a high school art reception, and for special exhibits such as the Apollo 11 exhibit that is on right now. And so we do these special receptions also just for a time for people to mingle and mix and enjoy the exhibits that we have at the museum.
And you know, going back to what we were talking about earlier about people who haven't been there, I've been to a few Christmas parties there because you can book Christmas parties there, so don't forget.
Right.
And listening to people as they walk through the museum and seeing everything, they say, this is better than some of the big museums downstate. The displays and how beautifully you have it decorated.
And this year they're going to have an unusual theme.
Ooh.
These two wonderful ladies, I mean a mother and a daughter team, they are spectacular. And I'm nervous and forgot their names.
Okay.
They come up with this, like, it's a Harlequin theme, if you can imagine. But anyway, it's a wonderful way to start the season, and the founders don't really put on this display, or we help decorate, as so many people in the community do. So it's just a great way to get your family started in the spirit.
So we have about 1 minute left. So the best way to become a friend of the museum on the Founders Society would be to stop by the museum, pick up a brochure, pick out
or
your
go online.
Or go online and pick out your level of sponsorship, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Right.
But the most important part is that you get to be a part of all the fun and exciting things that go on there, and you get to say, hey, I helped do that.
And
That's right.
oh, it's so fun to learn what's behind the doors.
I bet.
And it's fun to come. Once a month we meet and we share ideas. And we have a good time just learning what our volunteer opportunities are and just sharing it. Within an hour, we're a short group. Then we go to book club, some of us.
Thank you both so much for being here, and I hope that people will call you and want to become friends.
Right.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with Molly Stricker from Thunder Bay Theater following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Molly Stricker from Thunder Bay Theater. Hi, Molly.
Hi.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. It's
Welcome
good to see
back.
You.
And
Thank you.
You said you're so crazy busy, and I know
Yes.
Thunder Bay Theater, you said you had such a successful, wonderful fundraising event, and you want to thank the community.
Yes, we had Q Color, which is our season reveal party, last Friday, and it was just an amazing outpouring of community support. We had a lot of people there, about 50 or 60 patrons came, and we enjoyed food, we enjoyed some performances, we revealed our 2020 season, which will soon be on our website for those of you who didn't make it to the event, and we raised almost $12,000 for the theater, which is just more than we could ever have asked for. So
I always
we're so
say
grateful.
Alpena gives till it feels good.
Yes,
And you know,
absolutely.
you have a lot of people who are so excited and happy and proud to have Thunder Bay Theater in a community. I'm glad they stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, it was so encouraging to have all of those people and many others, but have so many of those in the theater and just sharing their support for
Well,
us.
when Jeffrey and Paige came to town, that was their goal, was to integrate into the
Absolutely.
community, and they've definitely done that.
Absolutely.
Yay. Well, today you're here to talk about the upcoming production.
Yes, so we're producing a show called The Marvelous Wonderettes, Caps and Gowns, and it is created by Roger Bean, and he's actually written 4 of these shows for The Marvelous Wonderettes. It's about a singing girl group from the 1950s and 60s, and we actually produced the first in the series a couple of years ago, and this is kind of the sequel, the second. Yeah, so if you saw the show a couple of years ago, it'll be a fun kind of sequel to that story.
So give me an idea about the story, what it's about.
Absolutely. So it's about 4 girls who are in high school together, and they, like I said, are in a singing group, and they sing all of the favorite songs from the 1950s.
Give me an idea of songs.
Rock Around the Clock, Rockin' Robin, At the Hop, those kind of songs.
Okay.
And this show actually starts on their graduation day, whereas the last show that we produced was them in high school and then them in Act 2 10 years later. And now we have, again, a kind of a time jump where we have them on graduation day, and then Act 2 is 10 years later at one of the Wonderettes' weddings. So it's kind of a fun movement from the 1950s to the 1960s with, like I said, a lot of really fun songs. The 4 girls are on stage the whole show, dancing and singing, and just doing a really beautiful job.
So who are playing the roles?
We actually have a returner from our original Wonderettes cast from a couple of years ago. So Erica Werner is back. She was our resident core company member in 2017.
Okay.
And she'll be back this fall. And she's playing Betty Jean again, which is her role that she had. So that'll be fun to kind of see her on stage.
Yes.
And then we have 2 returners from this past summer, Emily Aarons and Desi Rodriguez, who are in the cast as well. And then a newcomer, Sierra Glosson, and that makes up our 4 Wonderettes.
Wow, how exciting.
Yeah.
And Alpina loves a musical.
Yes, and this is definitely a fun...
Toe-tapping.
Toe-tapping, yes. All of, like I said, favorite songs, and it's a fun story. It's, you know, not very serious. It's a good kind of escape from reality.
So people need to get their tickets in advance.
Yes, yes. We're already selling out some performances with some large groups. So I would recommend calling as soon as possible.
And the phone number is?
It's 354-2267.
Yes.
Yep.
Very good. And you can go online too.
Absolutely. Yeah, Thunder Bay Theater with an RE at the end of theater.com. We have online ticketing now, so you can reserve and purchase your seats online. The show does run for 3 weekends, so we do have quite a few.
We should say, when does it start?
Yeah.
That would be good.
It opens on October 4th, and we'll run through October 20th with Thursday performances starting our 2nd weekend.
Okay, so what else is happening at Thunder Bay Theater?
After The Marvelous Wonderettes, we are jumping back into something a little bit more serious. We're going back to Shakespeare, and we're producing Macbeth this fall, which is one of Shakespeare's last pieces that he wrote, and it's very dramatic, very kind of spooky, good Halloween show to be doing, and I'll be directing that one. I'm super excited.
Molly, good for you.
And it's a really it's a difficult play, and it's very challenging to act in, to produce, and to watch. But it's a really good story, and I'm really excited to be working on it.
I can see you singing "Rock Around the Clock" and then going to rehearse Shakespeare.
Yes, it'll be very different for our actors to do both of those things at once. So
will that be then the Christmas show?
No, that will be in November.
November.
Starting November 1st, and then our high school production that we do in partnership with the Alpena High School students will be Godspell this year, which we're very excited about. It's a fun show. That'll open the day after Thanksgiving. And then we also added an actual Christmas show. We're doing a Christmas Carol this year for one weekend only, the weekend before Christmas. And that'll be full of community members and full of Thunder Bay Theater favorites. And, you know, Christmas Carol is something that everyone loves to see around the holidays. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, so that'll be the weekend before Christmas, and that's our full fall season.
Now, is it too late for people to audition as community members?
Yes, unfortunately, we've already had auditions. We're still assembling the cast list. But yeah, next season we'll have more opportunities.
Yay. And it's always good to make your reservations because you said a musical always sells out, especially for the one weekend only for the Christmas story.
Absolutely.
And you know, kudos to you and everyone there for working with the high school students because you know what a great experience for them. And a lot of people have gone from the high school on to study theater and are working in theater, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, I actually graduated from Alpena High School, so
I remember.
It's fun to work with people who are in my shoes.
Yes, exactly right. And always volunteers are needed at the theater.
Absolutely. We're always in need of ushering help as well as people to serve on committees with our board. So any kind of information about that can be just found online or by calling our box office.
Okay, and what about Halloween? In the past, you used to rent Halloween costumes. Do you still do that?
We do rent costumes.
Okay.
You can call, again, our box office number, 354-2267. And one of our board members handles that, and we can rent those out.
And you can go downstairs and look in that vast array
Yes.
of things that there is. I mean, I don't care what you want to be for Halloween, you can probably find
We
the
probably
costume
have
there.
something down there, yeah.
Yeah, so that's another good way. And also, you know, when for the upstairs where everyone lives up there too, you know, you're always in need of new items, new sheets and new pillows and new blankets and new wonderful new things. So if someone would like to make those kind of donations, that's greatly appreciated too. Because the actors
Absolutely.
and actresses come and go, so that's always nice.
Absolutely, yeah, and we're still kind of in the midst of our capital campaign, improving the building.
Yes.
And if you haven't been to Thunder Bay Theater in the past couple of months, we do have a beautiful brand new lobby.
I know.
And so I encourage people to come and check that out because it's such a difference from before.
Sounds wonderful. Okay, so thank you so much for being here.
thank
And one more
you.
time, tell us the dates and times when we can come and
Yep,
see this.
Marvelous Wonderettes opens October 4th, runs through the 20th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, 7:30, and Sundays at 2. And our phone number is 354-2267.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. Pleased to have as our guest this morning Aiden Francis, captain of the ACC cross country team, and Coach Mark Jacobs, ACC cross country coach and men's basketball coach. But we're here today to talk about cross country, and what a group it's been over the years. It's brought a lot of pride to the college and the accomplishments, especially in the academic area, but on on the course as well. So how are things going, Coach?
I couldn't be more pleased with this year. Again, I brought this young man, Aiden Francis, as my captain, and I can tell my guys what to do. But I talk to Aiden daily. He's the pulse of the team. How Aiden goes, everybody else goes, and it's just been a phenomenal year. You talk about academics. Aiden was academic All-American last year. He's on course to be again, and he just won a scholarship or a nice award from the International Linesman Rodeo, and he's flying to Kansas City in 2 weeks to celebrate that. So I take my captains serious, and they know I take it serious. And I tell you what, I couldn't ask for a finer young man than this guy to my right. So that's why I brought him in today to give him some kudos with the rest of the team.
Wonderful. You're a utility tech student.
I am in the utility tech program.
Oh, tell us a little about where you're from and how you like UTT.
I'm from a town called Memphis, Michigan, and normally I use the hand map to show people where it's at. It's about here.
Sure.
It's in the thumb, and it's about an hour north of Detroit, and it's just a one stoplight town. And so Alpena's like big to me. It's a big
city.
town. Oh yeah. And my brother originally came up here for the utility tech program 2 or 3 years ago, and he just fell in love with it. And so when we would come up to visit him, I would kind of check it out, and I realized that's what I wanted to do as well. And tell you what, it's been a phenomenal past year and a half for me.
You've enjoyed it.
Oh, I love it.
How do you like cross country?
It just adds to it. It's amazing. Yeah.
You have Coach getting you up early in the morning, is still doing long distance running?
Yeah, yep. Our practices got changed to 5:30 this year in the morning, so
Wow.
that's fun. But no, last year I said this was the best season of cross country I've ever had in my life. There's no way we can top it, and now this year we're even better.
That is
And
a
so-
wonderful story. I have to ask you before we go back to Coach, what sort of lessons has cross country or discipline or has that activity contributed to your schooling?
It's just so much more than running.
Right.
I mean, just from the time waking up early and just being disciplined with that, and then taking on the leadership role that I have, and learning that, like, how people act and just competition, and it's a brotherhood. It really is, and it's awesome.
Very cool. How's that sound to you, Coach?
Like I said, all my teams have been close. I've been blessed, the last 4 or 5 years. Just incredible guys, just family. And this team is extremely special in that, these guys look out for each other. A lot of them, are together. But if somebody's not, today, hey, I ran up to College Park to pick up you know, so-and-so because we're going to watch a game, we're going to watch a movie. And, you know, again, it starts at the top, and the leadership there. It's, like I said, I can't say enough about this young man. I've had some really good captains, and then I've had, you know, like a Colin Guidoni and an Aiden Francis, which, you know, means a lot to me because, again, I don't have to, my job's easy. And again, as Aiden goes, my guys go. If he gets up and he doesn't really want to do things, and they feed that, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
He's always enthusiastic. He's always, you know, he works hard. And these guys, like I said, these guys never complain.
Cross country is about hard work.
It is.
Boiled down, it seems like to me.
And I always say, you know, if it was easy to have everybody doing it, you know, and it's 5:30 in the morning, you know, this morning it was rainy and 51 degrees and cold, and I'm tired, but boom, it's just, let's go, let's do it, let's get our workout in, and they work extremely hard, and like I said, I couldn't be more pleased with this team.
How far did you run this morning?
Actually, about a 4-mile shakeout run. We run at Lansing tomorrow morning, so Thursdays are pretty light, but Sunday we'll do a double at Black River Hills, which is 15 miles, and then we'll get on the tracks. We have, and then we get our tough one. We have a 1:35. 3-1 workout, and then we've got a double 8K, you know, so we've got some tough practices ahead of us. But again, every meet we've improved and got guys moving up the ladder, so it's, you know, it's hard work. It's hard work,
though.
But again, like I said, it's a brotherhood.
Yeah. And the season, I saw in the paper that you folks did well at Kirtland.
We did very well.
And you've done well at virtually all the meets you've been in.
Yes, and this weekend will be really neat because the majority of our conference will be there.
Oh.
And down in Lansing. So we'll kind of give it where we're at. We kind of know where we're at right now. We can, you know, we've got some people on our tails who are way ahead of us before.
Yeah.
But we're also right on tails of a couple, you know, the Motts and Muskegons, which is phenomenal. You know, and as you know, those are pretty big schools.
They are.
So we're working hard.
And where is that meet in Lansing?
West, it's called Grand River Park or Grand Woods Park. It's in West Lansing.
Okay.
So kind of just west side, kind of by the airport. Beautiful. It's a disc golf course.
Ah.
So you're out in the woods. It's a cross country course. It's not on a golf course. And that's where our regional and conference meet is. So that's why we do it, you know, to get a feel for the course and improve from tomorrow to every week. And then we go to Oakland next week and then have a bye week to get ready for regional. So unfortunately, it's winding down.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you have a group of guys like this, you just, you know, you don't want it to end.
You love coaching, don't you?
I play. You know what? I'm blessed because I get to work with guys like this. It's my win. You know, these guys keep me young, but again, we'll have lifetime friendship, and that's the most important thing to me. You know.
And Aiden, after you graduate, you're probably going into the utility sector as a line worker,
Out
hey?
to find a career, yeah. Yep. I actually graduate in December with my associates.
Very good.
So, a semester early.
Yeah, and the award that Coach referenced that you got, could you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, so what it is there's the International Lineman Rodeo Association, and they put on lineman rodeos all around the country. And they had a scholarship, mainly for people who are pursuing the career that I am, to be a lineman. And it's a $2,000 scholarship. And I think there was 8 or 9 recipients this year. And I was fortunate enough to get it.
Nationally.
So, yep.
Wonderful. What a great story. And thank you for attending ACC, and thank you, Coach, for making ACC a special place for people like Aiden. We
It's my
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
you know.
We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
both of you.
Thank you.
And thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.